Yeah, I think we established the run game early, which was huge for us. It's something that we hadn't really done in previous games, and come out. And we committed to the run. We established it early. Our running backs and our O-line played so well today, and it just opens up everything else for us. So to get that started, obviously you guys just had Antonio up here. He had a great game, but all the backs ran the ball really well today. The O-line blocked it really well today, and it just opens up everything for us. So that was a huge part of it.
And then the other thing is that you guys have been talking about getting chunk plays. You obviously have two big bombs, one to Logan Thomas for 26 yards, the other one to Terry McLaurin for 52. You mentioned the running game helping you out in that regard. How does it help you get those kind of big plays that you guys have been missing earlier in the season?
Yeah, it's huge. That's what you need. You got to establish the run game first before you're going to get those shots. Teams they got to respect the run game to get those shots. So, that one to Logan was huge. It was a great catch by him, and then Terry just left the corner today. So those shots were huge. It's something we came into the week we know we needed to have some explosive plays.
What was the difference, I guess, last game and this game on third downs for you guys?
Last game we were really good on third downs. We were 8 of 15, over 50%, and this game we were too. I think it's really important. It's something that I know I pride myself on is on the third downs. And so today we were really good on third down, running the ball and throwing the ball. And it's a huge part of winning games.
Hey, Kyle, one of the things at the beginning of the year that we thought we were going to see more of the success with the two running back sets looked like that was there today. Has it been? Have you seen that? Was that a bigger deal today? If so, why?
Yeah, we were banged up at receiver this week, so we knew coming into this game we were going to need to be in more of the 21 personnel set, those two back sets. So there was a lot put on them this week. They were going to have to play a huge part in this game. And I think it's good for us. We're gonna major in it some, and we're gonna major in a lot of different things. But especially this week with the receiver room banged up, it was huge for them to step up.
How did they make a difference? Like, why did it work?
They did their jobs. We were banged up at receiver. We had a couple young guys came up. We needed to give some slot guys some rest, and JD can play that F position. He can play that slot, and he can do a lot of the things that they can do. And we can also build some special things around those packages too. And so we schemed it up this week. They did their jobs, and they really did well.
Hey, Kyle. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, it seemed like on the play before Terry's touchdown, he was kind of, or him and Trayvon Diggs were kind of jawing at each other or something. I guess, what did you make of that? And then how rewarding was it to get a touchdown immediately after that?
Yeah, they were jawing all game. I think it's just two big-time competitors. Trayvon Diggs is going to be a good player in this league for a long time. He's a good player, but yeah, I'm sure it felt great for Terry to be talking to the next play, go up and get one.
Hey, Kyle, when you made your first appearance this year, it was your first game since December of the previous year. How different does it feel for you now, having now had a few games to get out there? How different does it feel from that first game to where you are now?
Yeah, it's similar. It's always good. The first one obviously always knocks off a little bit of the rust, but it's just figuring this team out, figuring who we are. We're starting to get a little bit of an identity, and then for me coming in here, I just knew, this is a tough year for us. This division's wide open, and we're fighting to figure out who we are as a team. So for me, I just wanted to go out on the field every week. I get the opportunity to and give it everything I got. Fight till the last minute. You saw that last week in New York. We made some mistakes, but we fought till the last minute. And this week we came out strong, but we were fighting the whole game. You saw those drives at the end of the fourth quarter where we were running the ball and we were getting first downs when they knew we were going to run the ball. And so I think that is kind of an testament to what this team is trending towards.
To step in at quarterback this season and to have all the turnover at the receiver spot, to have a guy like Terry, in what ways beyond the stat sheet has he helped you?
Terry, I think I challenged Terry earlier in the year to be a leader because he's got it in him. He's a game breaker player, but he cares a lot. There's a lot of really good receivers in this league who don't care as much as Terry does, and you can tell that he wants to be a leader. He wants to win. He doesn't want to just get his. He wants to win. And so I think Terry has really stepped up just from a leadership position. Like you said, there's a lot of turnover in the receiver room, but he's that steady piece. Whoever we got in there in the game, he's going to make sure they're right.
You mentioned that identity. What is that? How would you describe that identity? You think that little bit of identity you think you guys are kind of building here?
I think it's just a toughness. I think it's a grit, and it starts with our head coach. Our head coach is going through cancer right now. He's getting treatment. He's getting chemo. And then he's showing up the next day at work, he's setting the example for us, you know, and it's right in front of our eyes. And I just want to do my part, and I think everyone on this team wants to do their part too, and transfer that onto the field. You know, you want to see that toughness, you want to see that grit, you want to see that fight. And there's going to be mistakes made. We're a young team and new coaching staff, but we can overcome those mistakes by fighting hard and playing 4 quarters.
Kyle, you mentioned that the division's wide open, but normally when the team is fighting for a division, it's a team that's been around and established and has some, you know, history behind it. You guys are a bunch of young guys around the new coach. So what would it do for you guys to be in a race for the division in the second half of the season?
I mean, I don't want to look forward that much yet. I mean, that was week 7. We're 2-5 going into the bye week. We're blessed to even be in this position at 2-5. And so I think us as a team, we're just taking it one game at a time and trying to figure out our next opponent. You know, our next opponent's New York again, and we're going to try and find a way to beat them.
Hey, Kyle, we saw another case of your mobility, I think on a 3rd and 9, I want to say, for +11 or +12. Do you think some of your mobility and how you use it is maybe overlooked by opponents or maybe even underrated as a big part of your game?
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I don't know how opponents think of me, but I know it's part of playing the quarterback position. You know, if you're able to do it, you need to do it. You know, you saw Andy make a couple plays with his legs today too, and when it all breaks down in the protection, it's your job to make a play and make something happen. And so it's just part of the game, you know.
We'll take a couple more. Anyone else?
Kyle, aside from your mobility, I mean, how else do you feel like you were smarter today? I see you threw the ball away a couple of times. Where do you feel like you made smarter decisions today?
Yeah, you know, it's part of playing quarterback too. You know, there's game management. There were some plays where I got flushed from the pocket and there wasn't anything there and threw it away. And you know, you try and do as much of that every game as you can. You try and manage the situations and keep your team in plus situations and not turn the ball over and not take big sacks and things like that. And so it's all part of managing the game as a quarterback.
Hey, Kyle, what kind of changes have you seen in Antonio Gibson just, you know, over the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think there's a gain in confidence for him. You know, I think he played a ton of receiver in college and some running back. And for him to be mainly featured as a running back here, I think it's just taking reps for him, which is totally understandable. And I think the more reps he gets, the more he sees things better, the more confident cuts he makes. And he's just improving every week. You know, he's a great player. He ran for a ton of yards today, and he's just going to keep getting better.